Hey everybody, how are you? I am alive. I'm alive. Let me know if you can see and hear me. And I have you guys propped on a box of garbage bags. I made a terrace on I. I'm so freaking excited. I am parked outside of a Walmart. So if I lose service or you lose me completely, I'll hop outside. I got my jacket and shoes on and I'll walk around the Walmart. They're open for another hour. Oh, I'm here, you guys. It has been a crazy, crazy ride. Oh my gosh. Like ridiculous. First of all, nobody told me how many mountain ranges were on this trip. Like, I had no idea. And you guys have to remember, I'm a prairie girl. I can see my dogs run away for 3 days, right? So I was doing really, really great on the drive. Well, here, let me back up. So we had an Arctic freeze, cold snap, felt like the minus 47 Celsius, which is a minus 50s Fahrenheit. And I called CAA, tried to get a boost. It would not work. So the next day, it was Canada Day. So I had just sat there and I'm like, well, nothing's open. There's nothing I can do. And then the second, we warmed up to like minus 20. And it sounds funny. We warmed up to minus 20 degrees. And I still couldn't get the ambulance started. So you guys probably saw that video. In that video, first time I have ever boosted anything with my own vehicle. I had my car trying to boost the ambulance. I had my son sitting in the car, revving up the engine, trying to boost the ambulance. It didn't matter what I did. I tented, I tarped, my propane bottle froze. I couldn't heat anything underneath. Finally, I got an electric oil pan warmer and I had everything plugged in. I had other heat sources plugged in. And my battery charger kept saying that it wasn't charging. Like it was saying low to 60%. It would flicker back and forth. And I was like, screw it. I'm done. It's not going to work. I started putting all the tarps away, every single thing apart, parked my car, got in the ambulance, went, frick, I'm going to try it one more time. And oh my gosh, I thought I was going to wreck my new starter. I went and it started. And I just threw my head on the wheel and I started crying like a maniac. Crying and crying. I went inside and I'm crying and tears are everywhere. My son's like, are you okay, Mom? I'm like, it started. It's just the biggest happy tears. I mean, other than the birth of Brayden, it is the only time I think I've had true happy tears. Like, absolutely crazy. Okay, thank you so much for the $10. That's greatly appreciated. I'm on my phone, you guys. I hope I'm not missing anything. If I am, can my moderators please make sure they're saying hello to everyone? Okay, so by the time I get started, the border that's the closest to me is already closed. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to go farther west I came just into Plentywood once I hit the US. So it was already supper time by the time I got to the border. And by the time I got to Plentywood, only one gas station was open. Small communities. I get to the border. Everything was amazing. Super awesome guys at the border. They did look in the ambulance. They did look in the passenger seat. And I'm such an idiot, you guys. I'm so slow. Like, he's like, so where you keep your THC at? And I'm like, what's TH? Oh, pot. I'm like, I'm not a pothead. And he asked me like 3 times where I'm going. He asked if I was bringing anything for anyone. He was, doing his job, but he was very, very nice. Wanted to know, if I knew what I was driving and stuff like that. Everything was great. The border was still open because I was really worried about that, you guys. I had this terrible feeling that the border was going to be closed come January. So glad I was wrong. But the funny thing is, I never got asked if I've been vaccinated. I didn't have to show any proof of vaccination. Um, I didn't even realize till I was like an hour away from there. So it was already dark. It's supper time. I only drove till 8 o'clock that night and stopped at Sydney, Montana because the wildlife was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy amounts of deer out there. And you guys, I'm missing a lot of the chat because I can only see 2 or 3 at a time. And I did miss one. Wait, can I see who that is? Denise Pace. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I greatly appreciate that. Okay, where am I at? So I'm driving along. I stopped at a Walmart in, now where the hell was that? It was before Bozeman. Laurel, Montana. Everything's going great. And then I'm driving. I'm like, holy shit, there's mountains coming. I forgot that there's mountains coming. So we're starting to climb elevations and stuff. And Vita, you guys, drove like a dream. And the power, she is just kick ass. I was so happy. But so we're driving, and I say we, it's just me. I don't have the dogs with me. They're at home with my house sitter and my son. So when I was getting up to Livingston, we had to detour off the interstate because of the severe winds. And I mean, it was terrible driving in that wind for so long. And then what they did was the only place they could reroute us at all was in through Livingston and out the other side of that. So the winds were ferocious. And when you're in a taller vehicle, it seems to me that I could really feel it a lot more. I went all the way to Butte, Montana, and that's when I got onto the I-15 and started going south. So by the time I got to Dillon, Montana, I was like, okay, I'm done. I was like every day at the end of the day, my body is just shaking from driving so much. Thank you for the birthday wish, Amy. So Dillon, it's horrible winds again. There was before that, even there was some mountain passes that were sketchy as shit. Like, I should have been recording for you guys what the trip was like, because it was crazy. Like, I was like scared. I actually have calluses on my hands from hanging on so tight when I'm driving. So yeah, I get to Dillon and it's dark. It's starting to snow. The wind's crazy. I'm like, okay, I'm going to pull over and go to sleep. And that night I actually parked in a McDonald's, and that was fine. I used their Wi-Fi and stuff, uploaded a video, and then apparently once they close, so does their Wi-Fi. Oh, Karen, thank you so much for the birthday super chat. Greatly appreciated. So I'm trying to go to sleep, and then the siren starts going off. Like, I have never heard anything like it. The siren is so loud. It's like, I don't know. It's like some big weather alert or giant warning going out to like the whole community. Like, it was the loudest noise I have ever heard in my life. And then I could hear, like, I don't know what emergency vehicles it all was going, and the ambulance is rocking because it's so windy in town. I'm like, oh shit. Checking the weather, and the next day they're getting 3 to 6 inches of snow, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna end up storm stayed for days here. So I tried to go to sleep, having terrible nightmares. First night in Sydney, Montana, I had nightmares that I died of carbon monoxide poisoning in here because I had the ambulance running the whole night through, and because I didn't want any problems starting it. And then when I'm in Dillon, I go to sleep after all those sirens went off, and I wake up at 3:30 in the morning because I had another bad dream that I slid off the side of a mountain. I mean, I'm the cheeriest person I've ever met in my dreams. Like, I'm getting hardly any sleep. Sleep I'm getting is so crazy. So it's 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like, something is different here. What is different? And I look outside, I'm like, there's no wind. There's no wind. The wind died down. And I'm like, shit. They got maybe maybe an inch or so of snow. And I'm like, maybe I'll try it now. Usually mornings, if the wind's going to die down, from what I know, it's in the morning. Dumb dumb. Oh, I'm so stupid. I drove from Dillon to Lima at like 3:30 in the morning. And once I hit the interstate, it had not been plowed. They had more snow than I thought they had got. And the one lane's completely not usable. And then there's just these skinny little tracks, and it's not even down to the pavement in the snow of a couple other semis. And it is dark. And I don't think the visibility would have been good even in daylight at that point. And so I'm going like half the speed limit, and I am freaking out. I'm like, why did I do this? Because once you get on the interstate, you're stuck on the interstate. I don't have interstates. Yes, Nate, I can see what you guys are saying, but I'm in the middle of a story and it's just crazy. So I am like freaking out, driving in the middle of the night in the snow. The odd semi does come by, and then you can't see shit. And I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I do this? I went to pull over once at Red Rock, so I pulled off the interstate, and the pull-offs are worse than the interstate is when there's snow. So I pulled off and realized it said Red Rock, no services. I'm like, well, then I can't go wherever that is, because if I get stuck or something, there's no one available to help me. Back up onto the interstate I go. And I tell you guys, I have never prayed so much in such a short period of time. Oh my gosh, I was constantly praying. And at that moment, I was like, please, please, please just help me find a place to stop. And then there was a rest stop, and I pulled over. And I was like, because the wind had been picking up, I just left it running. I slept for 2 hours. Sun came out. I got outside, checked all my tires, and then I'm freaking out because it looks like some kind of oil or fluid on my one back tire. I'm like, son of a darn it. I'm like, that better not be like brake fluid or some stupid thing like that. Like, I'm just losing it. I'm like, okay, snowplows went out. It still hadn't been sanded. Stopped in Lima, grabbed a coffee, chatted with them. They said, you know, they're really good about getting things cleared off. So it was touch and go. The elevations, like at one point, we're hitting all these mounts and summits. And I'm like, what? Why am I at 6,600 feet up right now? I did not want to be driving in this. And so you hit these high summits and it starts snowing. And you're just like, I wanted to stop, but I knew snow had been in the forecast coming up to all of these areas. So I'm like, if I stop anywhere, I'm going to get stuck here. So I'm like, just one stretch at a time. And I just kept going and going. And finally, last night I stopped at Cedar City. And I am so glad I stopped then, because if I would have made it to Vegas in the dark, I'll tell you, the one part of the drive that I hated, and I'll tell you, I hated it, that was not weather related, was driving in Vegas. Now, I've been to Vegas before, but it was like rush hour traffic, and I never used the GPS. I still have no data set up on my phone. I'm using Wi-Fi off of Walmart next door right now. And I'm like, okay, I'm old school. Every morning, I pull out the maps that Badginal lent me, and I'm like, okay, here we go. I got this. Vegas had all this construction. That was the worst part. It was like, I'm like, oh my God, am I going in my lane or is this someone else's lane? And there was like there was way more traffic than Salt Lake City. And I've been through Salt Lake City before, but oh my gosh, Las Vegas was terrible. And so I'm driving through and I'm like, okay, I know I'm going south and I need Highway 95 or 93. Well, son of a bitch, if I didn't forget which one I needed while I'm driving. And I'm like, the map is in the back of the ambulance. You're on this big freeway, so you can't just pull over. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just keep reading the signs for the cities. I went flying past 95, which is the one I should have taken, but I took 93. So I went past Hoover Dam. I went past Lake Mead. I went through a whole bunch of more sketchy elevations. Yeah, so I went a little bit farther west than necessary, but it was still fine. Wind and elevations up and down, you guys. Just, I'll tell you, Julie, I am proud of myself, and I'm proud that I did it. But I'm on my, what, third, no, tonight is my fourth night, and I already got a knock. I'm like, I got to Walmart here. I got to Lake Havasu, which is where I'm at right now. And I'm like, I am not driving a foot further. I am done. My legs are shaking. I just feel like you know when you're done. I drove 2,700 kilometers in 72 hours. So I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I did well. 95 had a bunch of bad wrecks. Well, then I guess I did do it the right way. Yes, Keely, I got a knock already. So I go into Walmart, I load up with groceries, and I'm just shocked at how much alcohol you guys have in your grocery stores. Like, there's aisles of alcohol, and it's so cheap here. I'm surprised you're not all a bunch of alcoholics. It is so affordable. Anyways, I'm in Walmart. I'm trying to walk it off. I'm buying groceries. I'm buying tons of stuff that doesn't need to be refrigerated, and most stuff that I can make in my microwave. Kat, you're right. I need moose milk. Oh, that reminds me. I bought myself a little birthday drink. Just the teeniest little thing is like $1.50, and it is a pina colada. So I'm gonna have a little birthday drink with you guys. Oh, yeah. It's not the best pina colada I've ever had. Yeah, right, DJ. Really? Alcohol? Walmart? It was insane. I couldn't believe it. There's tons of keto stuff in there too, but I am so not doing keto right now. So yeah, I load my groceries and stuff into the ambulance, and I laid down and I fell asleep. Fell asleep before my live stream was supposed to be on. So sorry about that, guys. I was sleeping. I was just so worn out. I laid down and I was out. And then I can hear some knocking and someone yelling hello. And I'm like, hello? I look outside, and it is Lenny, the Flying Hawaiian. He's a security guard here at the Walmart in Lake Havasu. And yeah, Steve, you're right. I did get a knock there. I saw your comments after. Yes, Nate, I'm talking fast. I am so wound up. If you could have witnessed these days of driving, it's just crazy. Okay, so I get the knock. It's Lenny, the security guard. He's on his it's like not a shopping cart, a go-kart. And it's got these lights, and yeah, Tim, you didn't even have to buy me a drink. I really needed this one. And it's only one I'm gonna drink tonight in case I have to move again. Anyways, Lenny's like, is that converted inside? And I'm like, yeah, because I knew it. And I'm like, well, come take a look. And told him sorry, I had fallen asleep. I said I was so tired, and said I had just came from Canada. Oh, thank you so much for that, Tim. Buy a real drink. I have some in here. And you guys, I got some moose milk for you. Okay, so Lenny looked around his side to give him a sticker and a card, and he was super duper nice. And he's like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I've been driving for 3 days straight from the prairies in Canada. This is my first time in Arizona. Like, I just got here this evening. And he goes, you know what? I'll tell you what. You go down over here, and points to a different area, kind of behind. He goes, you park there for the night. I will let the night security guy know, and you just stay here and you'll be fine. So Lenny, the Flying Hawaiian, made sure that I had a safe place for the night tonight. And I mean, there's security here. They've given me permission to be here when they don't do that. And so, wow, that's my first impression of Arizona. Like, if everybody's that nice, I'm never going home. So Lenny, if you're watching this, thank you so much for making sure that I'm okay. Nate, thank you so much for the happy birthday. Cheers, guys. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Ava, Potterfield and Friends, girlfriend, happy birthday drinks. Cheers. We're birthday twins. Yeah. So I'm actually just outside of Walmart on another side, right under a street lamp, or like not a street lamp, a parking lamp. Denise, thank you so much. Oh, have you ever gone to a Walmart and seen a palm tree in the parking lot? What? I've never seen anything like it in my life. I'm like, this is like a whole different world. And as much as the driving was scary to me because I'm not used to any kind of mountains at all. And don't get me wrong, these mountains weren't like driving in the Rockies by any means. The Rockies are phenomenal. But I've never driven anything like that in years, let alone at all ever in the ambulance. And so the ambulance ran like a dream. I was going up to 70 miles per hour at some points. I almost never passed anyone. Jeez. But man, the power that she has climbing some of those hills, I was like, shit, I'm so happy. Then there's this morning. This morning I wake up and I'm moving some stuff around and thank you, Jason, JM Forge. Send me a toonie so I don't forget. You know, I didn't bring any toonies with me. I should have, but I have some loonies. Tim, one more shot. You got it. Oh, you guys, I haven't talked to anybody for days, so I'm just like, okay. It's a wine cocktail. Grape wine with cream and natural flavors. Oh, well. It's not moose milk, but it'll do. Oh, and they never charged me duty for my second bottle of moose milk. But I'm supposed to be charged it. He was just super nice. So nice. And yeah, so I got 2 bottles of moose milk to share with you guys. Travis, thank you so much for the happy birthday and the safe travels. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this morning I wake up and last night I parked at a Walmart. So I parked at a Walmart. No, sorry, a truck stop, a McDonald's, and a Walmart. And I wake up in the morning. I'm like, okay, I got to get fuel. Oh, Keely, thank you so much. I got to get fuel. So I go get some diesel like I do ridiculous amounts of time on this trip. And I get in and everything lights up on the dash. Go to start it. Nothing. No click. No starter trying, because I know what it's like to deal with a dead battery. And I know what it's like to deal with a starter that goes kaput. And it wasn't anything. Everything just quit. All lights went out. Everything just stopped. No fading, no dying, no noise. And I just felt sick to the bottom of my stomach. And I'm trying to remind myself to breathe. Just breathe. Tried a couple more times. Same thing. Okay, now I got to do more than breathe. I'm going to have to pop the hood. I don't know what I'm going to be looking at. Then I'm like, ding, ding, ding. Oh, badge, you'll get a kick out of this one. Remember that little switch that we moved? That if somebody bumps it or flips the switch, the ambulance won't start? It's that hidden safety feature that we have. I had hit the switch. Oh my God. I looked over and I saw it and I'm like, I wonder if that's it. Flick it, started like a dream. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I just had a wave of panic go through me, right? And I'm like, well, at least I waited till it's warmer to die on me. Because I'm not kidding, through all of Montana, part of my prayers were, please at least last until warm weather. Please last until warm weather. Oh my gosh. But it did. But it was a stupid secret switch. Thank you so much, Anne. That's so greatly appreciated. Oh, right. User error, Tim, user error. And it was when I had some boxes of stuff that I unloaded into the different spots here because anything that could freeze couldn't be put into the ambulance until she was started and I was ready to run. So, I'd been putting things away at these empty boxes and I'm shoving them on the passenger side and I'm shoving all my window coverings in on the passenger side. And honestly, for the direction it goes, I don't know how I managed to flip that switch, but I'm so glad I thought of what it was before I had someone come tow me, or because honest to goodness, a mechanic wouldn't have known about that switch. The guys boosting my vehicle don't even know which way to switch the thing on my seat in order to boost the ambulance. So, dang, I was lucky I figured that out. Yes, badge. Dead man switch works amazing. No one is stealing that thing and getting it anywhere. Who spiked my drink? And I'm not on Adderall, you guys. I haven't talked to anybody for like days. DJ says my normal talking's twice as fast, so it still sounds slow-mo. I do talk fast, DJ. I know. When I'm happy and excited and wound up, or yeah, I'm hyper like a kid. Mom, was I ever ADHD or ADD? Oh, the secret switch does sound like a scene from the James Bond. I'm just like, but I mean, this morning, like, I there was still snow in Cedar City, and I was like, okay, it can't be that much longer. But it's so funny. Today I went from Utah to Arizona to Nevada to Arizona. Does that sound weird? Ugh, thank you, Lillian. Yeah, 0 to 16, 2.2 seconds. You guys. Thank you, Jeff, for the happy birthday. I wished it was my 39th, but I am 47 years old. So I got to tell you, 46 was pretty good. 46, I really started pushing past fear and doing things like the skydiving and the tattoo and the bungee jumping. But this trip, oh, Tracy, thank you so much for the happy birthday. That's so appreciated. This trip, though, this trip is such a dream come true that I didn't think it was going to happen, you guys. Like, it was supposed to go last year. The whole world changed, right? And I am not an old lady, you punk. The whole world changed. And the blessing in that is that I met all of you guys, and this trip this year is going to be so much better. But even in planning it, there was so many things this trip depended on, like the borders opening, getting approvals from work to go to the ambulance actually running. So, the breakdowns that I had earlier in the year were meant to be, yes, this is me coming out of hibernation. That is it. Oh, you guys, I just checked the weather at home. It's back down to minus 47 again. Winter weather warnings. Like, it is ridiculous. And normally my birthday is around the minus 50 mark with the wind chill. And I'm in Lake Havasu. Hi, Auntie. So tomorrow, Denise, thank you again. You're such a doll. I'm still old enough to be your sister, Neil. Oh, DJ's in Regina, and it feels like minus 52 with the wind chill. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, our school buses quit at minus 44. They won't even run. Oh, man. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah. What else was on that trip? Oh, when I ended up going down Highway 93, when I got past Hoover Dam and Lake Mead and stuff, which is gorgeous. Sketchy as shit for driving. I wished I was the passenger. I would have taken so many pictures. It was amazing. But where did I get to? Oh, it's wrong thing. It's north of Kingston. And for a minute when I was coming up to it, I was like, where is Slab City? Maybe this was it, but it wasn't. But it was almost like third world. It was like, it wasn't a bunch of us out there or people that live there all the time, but it was like trailers and campers and stuff scattered for miles and miles and miles, and most of them looked abandoned. Like, Oh, it was so sad, and it was so dirty on the highway, like yeah, Kingman, north of Kingman. And it was so different to me. I don't know. It just made me think of all the things that I'm really blessed with in my life. But yeah, you guys, it's in California. But when I was getting close to that area and I could just see for miles, like broken down, mostly abandoned. There's lots of junkyards. You could see that anyone that did live there had to haul their water in and they had it gravity fed into their homes. And it just is very different. It reminded me very much of like going to Cuba. Yeah. It was just so different. No, Keely, I don't have any plans on going to Slab City. Not by myself anyways. What else? There's just so many things on this trip, you guys. I should actually start reading the comments. Oh, I'm going to go see London Bridge tomorrow. Yep. I made it, got the power. Oh, is BoxFam D in here? D, I have your inverter. And so I'll be bringing that to you. Yeah, as soon as I get there. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing at the moment. Yeah, I did travel fast. I did. And the first night was at night and a little bit the second night. And then last night I was like, no, not at all. Not at all. Thank you, Dee. Hey, Van Life Voyages. California travel videos. Yep, Lake Havasu. Oh, you're going to be here Saturday. Today's Wednesday. I wonder how long I'll stay. Maybe. We'll have to keep in touch. Now, anybody that does try to contact me, I have not got any kind of service set here. Hi, James. Hi, Joy Bless Life. I don't have any service set here. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for. My mind, like, look at me now. There's no way I could concentrate enough and figure out. Yeah, look, I'm losing my train of thought already. I'm solely relying on Wi-Fi. So the only people I've really been able to contact anytime I had service was Ray, Kevin, or my son, because the rest of my family don't have iPhones. So yeah, YouTube, when I have service, the only time you guys can get a hold of me, unless you want to send me an email, then when I have service, I can stop and check. I will get service set up at some point. Part of me is like, it's kind of nice to not have service. And then the other part was like, I woke up tonight and realized I fell asleep during my live stream. I don't want anyone to be scared. You guys are awesome and you support me all the time. So you guys have an iPhone. Awesome. Yeah, a lot of my family have Samsungs and stuff. Old Car Junkie, hello. We got Tracy Oceanfire. I'm so sorry, you guys. I missed a ton of comments, but I was like, do I make a video about this? What am I going to do? Just sit and talk? Because I virtually recorded nothing. But like, every time I hit a new state, I was so giddy and I'm like woohooing and hurrahing and I'm all by myself in here. What do you mean, Kenny 2.0? What the hell does that mean? Get a burner from Walmart? Yeah. See, I didn't cancel I'll go into Walmart tomorrow since I parked here. I'll go in tomorrow and see about it. I didn't disconnect any of my service. And then, so like I can turn my phone on if there was an emergency and I can make calls and I could send iMessages and stuff. I wouldn't want to be streaming or anything. Yes, Kat, I literally slept in my live stream until I got that damn knock on the door, which I'm very thankful for. Thank you. I will stop and pat myself on the back. I'm like, you go, girl. You got this. You did it. And you just kept breathing through it because you have no choice on these highways. Oh, I even went on part of Route 66. How do I fit so many things in 3 days? It's just luck, folks. Just luck. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hit me with questions. Hey, V. Hey, Shevna. And I want to thank anybody that has sent me messages through Facebook and text and Messenger. It's awesome. Thank you, guys. Don't turn on my Canadian phone. It's going to cost me a lot of money. Kat says get a track phone. Recharge them with minutes as you need them. Yeah, I suppose I could do that. I just don't know how it works for streaming. I don't know who I talk to in there, if they're even going to know anything. Oh, here's my next story. My bank is going to get an earful. An earful. I start an American account. All my money for my trip is in my U.S. checkings account. I have already put the money in. I've already lost my share of the exchange, which I put lump sums in there 3 times. Hey, Stacy. So I put money at one point. I got for every 100 I put in, I lost $26. Then the next time I lost 28, and the next time I lost 31. Okay. Thank you, Diane. So they said whenever I use a machine like Interact, it's just going to ask me which account, or it's automatically going to switch to the US one. Because I have my Canadian funds, and that is for everything that's on automatic debit that's going to come out while I'm gone because I have no income this month. It won't work. All my transactions keep declining, and I'm like super embarrassed. But the ones that I just tap goes through. Wait, it didn't go through on my Canadian debit. It didn't go through on my American debit. It went automatically to my credit card with my debit card. My credit card works fine everywhere I go. I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to take money out of a teller and see if I can get that out of my American account. Nope. And again, it automatically sent it through my credit card. I'm like, how is this happening? And the $100 I took out cost me $140. I'm like, are you shitting me? Are you kidding me? So, I don't know. Like, I've already paid my exchange rate on the money that I put aside, and now I'm paying more. And when you take cash out and it goes to your credit card, you get charged the cash back rate, which was higher than just having made a purchase with your credit card. Oh, Keely, you had your card closed. Oh my gosh. Just ridiculous. Because I'm like, for every $100, I'm losing an extra $12 because it's not letting me take it out of my American account. I'll call them. But I don't think they're going to fix it because, yeah, hashtag, are you shitting me? Sorry. It's just me being me. Am I supposed to be nice? Oh, and okay. So I've been keeping all my receipts. I got to go through them. I've just been too tired every day to do it. But I did take a quick look when I was on Wi-Fi at my account. And this one location where I put 95 American US in, I got a double charge. And it's one transaction and charged me twice, but it's still pending. So I got to go back and double check. Plentywood. When I went to Plentywood, Montana, one place was open. I went, I topped up my fuel, and I left. I have 2 different transactions in Plentywood on my credit card that are 2 different dollar amounts. So I don't know. DJ, you used your debit everywhere? Well, my debit card has this little MasterCard logo on it, but it's never made a difference in Canada. I always wondered why it was there. Now it's connected to my credit card. Thank you. Glad you love my seedling. Did it all by myself. If you see it in person, it's not so nice. Hello, Purple Tube. Oh, yes. I'm thankful to be here. I'm just glad that I had a couple different sources of income. Yeah, I got to watch for those scammer cards. And it seems like if I'm going to use any card to make any purchase, I might as well just put it directly to my credit card. So, I mean, later I can transfer money from my American back, but let's just hope my dollar drops dramatically before I transfer it back. Oh, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hello, Papa Texas. So the first time I was supposed to use my debit card, they said, make sure you don't just click it, put it in, punch your numbers in, and then through the account, it's registered and it knows you're in the States. I tried to do that, put it in the machine. I bought like a sandwich and a pop in Sydney, Montana, the first stop. Put it in there and it just automatically went through. And I'm like, well, I didn't even punch any buttons in. I didn't tap anything. I put it in the machine. And the woman's like, well, it went to your credit card. I said, but this isn't my credit card. It's my debit card. Shows me on the receipt. Credit. I don't understand it. Yes, Kat, I will get some rest and then start making some phone calls. So I know my lady at my branch isn't going to be able to help me at all, because she didn't even know how it was supposed to work at all when I got to the US with my cards. And then I called a toll-free number before I left, and they're like telling me how it's supposed to work, which it didn't. I have an American cash account, Papa Texas. Like, it's an American account in my Canadian bank, but it's just not working right. So I am just going to, I don't know, change things around. Dee, I can't call you, but I can message you through Messenger. I could text you if we both have iPhones when I have Wi-Fi. But right now I can't make any calls. And yeah, it kind of sucks for my family because nobody could get a hold of me except for my son. So my son wished me happy birthday at like 2 a.m. 2 a.m, Braden? And Jaden wished me happy birthday as well. So thank you, Jaden. Once the ambulance, I can't speak English. Once the vehicle got running and I was like, oh my God, this is for real. This is really happening. Braden's helping me load it up. I'm giving him hug after hug after hug. I didn't say goodbye to the dogs. I didn't go downstairs and say goodbye to Elaine because she went, my house sitter, she went downstairs. I thought maybe she was having a nap. I was like, tell her I said goodbye. I'm out of here. Oh, yeah, DJ, you tried texting. You didn't know how to get a hold of me. I guess, DJ, like for you or mom, you can either email me or or like Messenger or get a hold of Braden, which probably isn't the best, but that's another way. But then he's still got to wait till I have Wi-Fi till I get another plan set up, and then I'll let you guys all know the numbers. I decided against shutting down my plan completely. I realize there's just too many things, even with my accounts, that go back to my phone number to confirm. Yeah, I didn't say goodbye to the dogs, but I've been hanging out with them forever. Like the 1st of January, I was so bummed out because the day before, even the tow truck couldn't get me boosted. I bought a bunch of junk. And I laid on the couch in my pajamas the whole day. Oh, no, Kat, I'm good. That's sweet. I appreciate that. No, I can use my credit card, and that's totally fine. And I have lots of room on my credit card because I made sure that I did, because that's my emergency funds, right? Gosh, you guys. But I am super happy with the build back here because nothing fell. Nothing's coming loose. One light did cut out, connected to my 12-volt system. And I definitely need to find a better spot to put my spare tire because it's in behind my driver's seat. So when I'm big turns, I hear this funny rub for a while. Like every little noise just makes me anxious. And then I realized it was the tire behind my seat. It's so stupid. Oh. Yeah, everything's just all crazy. Yeah, I was looking up some of those prices that they were charging me on my bank statement and Lillian. So they were all pending. So I'm going to go back in and check them again. And I'm going to pull out all my receipts because I was trying to keep track. I want to keep track of how much I spent. Oh, you sent me an email, Tim? Okay, I'll check it after. I have all my receipts. I'm keeping track of everything I spend on food and fuel. Yeah. Right, Keely? Like when you're keyed up, panic comes easy. Like just driving the ambulance. Will I have another breakdown? how is the road conditions? How, like it's just on and on. Then you hear a funny noise. It's just like too easy to go over the top. And for how fast I'm talking and how wound up I am right now, I've been incredibly calm through everything. And honestly, it is because I prayed so much. I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but every time I did, it got better. Whether it's a coincidence or not, but every time I did, something changed, an opportunity came, something got better. So, yeah. I don't know how to explain it. I don't. So, how warm is it? It was like, well, right now in the ambulance, it's 21 degrees Celsius. That's like room temperature for us. It's going to be beautiful weather. Why don't create a Google phone number? Tim, I'm going to have to see you and get you to teach me how to do that stuff. Ron, you're right. Remember, we always make it. Oh, and Tim, it's free. Okay, I need you guys to kind of step me through it, but I also need to like calm myself a bit. Yeah, and you guys, like getting up at 3:30 in the morning and driving through a snowstorm in the dark like an idiot took a lot out of me. And just so much driving, and no sleep. So it's actually going to take me a couple days to like feel a little bit level again. Like I felt safe everywhere that I've stopped for the night, but it's like every little anxiety that I have has come out through my dreams and just kept waking me up. So, Papa Texas, you're being silly now. Silly. Hey, Ashley. Yeah, it is time to rest. I need to calm myself down though, you guys. Crazy. Thank you, Stacy. Now, when you say I'm a trooper to start that drive in these weather conditions, I know you know what it's like being in the Yukon, right? I don't know how you do it, girl. The one thing that did feel really reassuring before I started my trip, because we had got a bunch of snow and then we hit those Arctic colds. It's really hard to clean the snow off the streets. So in town, it was very rough. Like driving in my car, I was bouncing, like literally bouncing off the ruts on the ice. And it's so cold, the salt will not melt it. And they hadn't been sanding it as much. So in my car, I was like all over the place. And I was like, ooh, sketchy. Got in the ambulance. Didn't feel it at all. And I think I have anti-lock brakes in the ambulance, or it's like an all-wheel drive or something, because it braked beautifully on the icy road. So I was like, I can do this. And I did it. Stacey says, I'm dreaming of moving to warmer climates. It's minus 45 there. Yeah, that's like when I was leaving. And that's what it's like at home right now, too. But I am here. There's palm trees in the parking lot of a Walmart. Like this. I have 3.5 months of this. And I'm here at the coldest time of year. Wow. Crazy. I got to back up again. Come here and watch a wild horses herd. That'll calm you down. Oh, Steve, that sounds so cool. The Ambo has a wider wheelbase and is heavier in your car. Yeah, that really made a difference, Kat. It really did. I'm down one to you an hour ago. Oh, you guys are talking beers. I know, Stacey. Palm trees. Oh, I see it. Like, I see a cactus. And I woo into myself. So help me if people saw me when they're passing me, because I'm hurrahing that I saw a cactus. Yeah, I have experienced, Neil, that's right, over 100-degree Fahrenheit differences in temperatures in the last 5 days. And altitudes, Lake Havasu is under 400 feet elevation, and I was hitting 6,600. There was 6,500, a 55, and a 53, I remember, for summits. I know, don't hug the cactuses. You got a row of about 100, Tim? Oh, man. I don't care if they're imported or not. They wouldn't live where I am. So I'm like super happy to see them. I know, Keely, I am the happiest person. The driving in Vegas, you know, when Mom and I went to Vegas 5 years ago, thank you, Marshall. We went straight to downtown. And when you come in from the north end on the I-15, it pretty much takes you straight to where you want to go. It's like you're right there. But all the other meandering around, and I didn't realize how much traffic. And it was so busy. So busy. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Michael Ann. Sometimes a parking lot cleaner comes and wakes you up in the middle of the night. Well, security already knows that I'm here for the night. I'm the exception to the rule. Super nice people, super nice. Like I said, if Lenny, the flying Hawaiian, is an example of the people that I'm meeting on this trip of a lifetime. He is just amazing. So amazing. Good night, Auntie. Sorry that it was so late. Oh, you're sick. I hope you start feeling better, my dear. Oh, hey, RV Living Life. You're in Yuma now. Okay. I will be checking out Yuma at some point in time. Thank you, Greg. Thank you for the happy birthday. I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Oh, no. I got to get a lock, and I got to see the London Bridge. I thought about doing it today, but I just didn't have it in me, and then I fell asleep, and yeah. But so there is a story to that, so I'm going to find it all out. Oh, Steve, message me if you're coming to Squatterville. Okay, which area is Squatterville again? Because I could do that, because I can always come back. Okay, Steve, can you put in the comments thank you, Janice. Hello, She Devil Adventures. Can you put in the comments, Steve, what time you could be here? Because I could be in the main parking lot again for Walmart and then follow you out if you're coming this far, or if you're going to a certain spot, can you message me right away and let me know, or message me by sometime in the morning on my stuff? Yeah, I'll come out to Squatterville. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, guess what? Okay, I'm going through my emails. I got an email back from Tiny Home Tours, and I am going to Schoolie Palooza, and that is when they're going to do the tour of my ambulance. So that is a for sure go. Huge opportunity. I'm super excited, so I'm definitely going to do that. Dale, I would love to see Florida and the beaches, but that is just way too far for me. Yes, I'm on RV time. Yeah, Steve, let me know. And I'll go to Squatterville. Yeah. Meet me at some point, and yeah. Oh, Ehrenberg, about 2 hours south. Okay, so Steve, I'm sure I'll find somewhere with Wi-Fi when I get to Ehrenberg. I better write this down. When I get to Ehrenberg, I will send you a message through Messenger. Is that how we were messaging? Yeah. So go to Ehrenberg. I spelled that wrong. And message Steve. Okay. Because then I'll message you where exactly I am, so we kind of know what general area. If you have one of these babies and you know there's a certain thing highlighted on there that can help me, just tell me. Go to Parker, take a turn, Poston Drive to Ehrenberg, traffic circles, take 3 dead end roads. What? Take dead end road 3 miles. Go to Parker. Yes, Kat, go on to Walmart, get a track phone. Let me write that down. It's called a track phone. Okay. Track phone. From Walmart. Yeah, I'm sure it will make a life a lot easier. Although, I haven't spent any extra money on the trip for Wi-Fi. The biggest expense of this whole trip was this drive here. And Yeah, Steve, I'll let you know when I leave Havasu. Okay. I'll write that down too. Let Steve know when I leave Havasu. And I got to tell you, thanks to like Badge, there are so many wonderful people that I have met on the channel with all my surprise interviews and stuff that, like, when I got here today, I was like, well, I don't know anyone for sure that's here. I don't know who to reach out to. Part of me wants to do stuff on my own, but part of me really doesn't. I don't want to be lonely. And then I just realized the people that I do know all over the place, and I am just so blessed. So blessed. Good night, V. Keep the snow away from Kingsport, Tennessee. Yeah, you guys are funny. I'm just trying to back up a little bit. No, Ashley Badge is in Alberta, Canada. Did you get a good view of the roof now? Oh, and it was so nice to finally hit warm temperatures that I could plug in my water pump to my water because it wasn't going to freeze it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was so dehydrated. I still am. Because I'm driving stretches of 4 and 5 hours before I stop to get fuel. And like, I'm not going and peeing hardly at all during the day because I don't want to have to stop. So yeah, crazy. Don't be alone, Paula. Not a matter of loneliness. It's a matter of safety. That's true too. Yes, Kat, that is exactly right. Once I wind down, I'm going to sleep for a week. Thank you, Michelle. It is very homey. I still haven't ever done the tour of what it looks like now, but my bed is damn comfortable. Good night, California travel videos. So, oh yeah, so I was saying, I'm so thankful for all the people that I've met through the channel that, like, I'm going to get to meet so many of these people in person. It's amazing. I am so lucky and so blessed. And honestly, if I didn't have my mechanical consultant, wink, wink, I would have never made it here. I'd have never made it. So thank you. And if it wasn't for people like my mom and my brother and my son that have encouraged me not to give up, like there was trips last summer where, you know, something will happen and I'd be like, that's it, I'm selling it, I quit. And my mom was like, don't give up on your dreams. Like, don't give up. So I have had so much support that I am so incredibly thankful for. Always keep something to drink with you at all times. Yeah, I have 30 liters of water. All my other jugs are empty right now. And I have my coffee. I made myself 2 coffee mugs of coffee because I have a little 700-watt coffee maker. And hello, Susan. And it makes 5 cups. So it fills 2 coffee mugs perfectly. So I filled them up, had 2 coffees ready to go for my drive. See, I am thinking. Let me just see. What do we see here? North Carolina said they're expecting a snowstorm. Yeah, there is storms like all over North America lately. I'm so glad that I made it here when I did. And like, I know I was really stupid to drive in the middle of the night from Dillon to Lima. And it was terrible. But if they did get their 3 to 6 inches in the wind, I wouldn't have been able to move at all. At all. And I'd have been stuck for probably a couple days where it's colder. And when it's colder, then I have to keep everything running. So, oh, and the first night driving, oh my gosh, my eyes were burning. I don't know what it was coming from the heater, but they were burning so bad. But yeah, I'm thinking as I bounce off the walls. Hello, Jessica Lane. Good to see you. Kaylee, you're so funny. More thumbs up. People, don't make me come over there. You guys are awesome. I'm really surprised that my service continued through all of this. I'm really glad that it did. And when I pulled into this spot, when I had the knock on the door and got moved, I didn't have any service here, and then just all of a sudden, the little symbol pops up on my phone, and I'm like, hey. So I caught the end of Ray's. I watched a bit of Gina's, and I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. If I have to, go outside. But looks like I didn't have to. Oh, did you know Lima's on the top of the mountain? Oh, lovely. Lovely. Yep. You know, when I was driving that in the dark with the reduced visibility, with only like a vehicle's line of tracks in the snow, and it was like all these curves, all these curves. I'm like, I am never going to do that again. I will be storm stayed for weeks if I have to before I ever pull that shit again. I just wanted to get here, and I'm here. So I'm so thankful. Good night, Lillian. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so glad that I'm here. I'm going to share the moose milk, and I got some of the raspberry Coke and maple Coke, and I got a couple Canadian chocolate bars and my maple syrup. I only bought one. Oh, those curves are called switchbacks. Switchbacks I've been on through the Rockies, and they're a little more dramatic. Don't get me wrong, like the views where the driving was like the craziest for me as a prairie person. Yeah, I do have to come back. It was so beautiful. Like, I saw so many different things, and I've gone through Montana. Well, Montana took me the longest to get through, and then I've been through, from Saskatchewan in Canada to Montana to Idaho, which I don't know if I've been through Idaho before or not. Because the way Mom and I went to Vegas, we went past Yellowstone. I don't know if that hit. Oh, maybe we did hit Idaho, and I probably didn't realize. I conquered the Mondita Pass. Which one was that one? Was that the one that it was snowing? Oh, in Salt Lake City, it was snowing, but the highways were wet. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. But I think it was about 3:00 when I started the whole route through Salt Lake City, which, starts in like Ogden or however you call that, and it keeps going so long. Yeah. Good night, Dale. Our tiny acres, you love Idaho. I really wish I could see it in the summer. Oh, and in the mornings when I'm driving, when there was snow, like Montana is gorgeous. And as much as yes, Auntie, I saw Steve send me the instructions in the chat. Thank you. So, no, what was I saying? You think she was vaccinated with a phonograph needle? Huh? I'm probably reading it wrong. Oh, well, I don't even know what I was saying. I'm losing my mind. Well, there. I finished my birthday drink with you guys. I should probably let y'all go and get some sleep. Yes, squirrel. Yeah, DJ, you're right. It's excitement. It's excitement. Because now I'm here. The dream is real. There are so many things that I've had to overcome to get here. And I'm here. And it's amazing. Oh, yeah, Montana. Montana snow. And in the morning when the sun was out, the way it glistened. And even, like, I had to stop on the highway. There's a, like, big herd of deer. I don't know if it was regular deer, whitetail or muleys. I didn't pay enough attention. But I never noticed before how graceful they are. Yeah, it was really neat. As much of a pain in the butt as it was, because I could have hit them on the highway. I didn't. But yeah, it was beautiful. Everything in the mornings when the sun is out is beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty good. Life will never be the same. It's never going to be the same. If I have to go home, I have to go home, but I know I do. But don't get me wrong, I love Canada. Thank you, Sue. I love Canada. I love where I live. It's beautiful. But nothing beats this right now. Nothing beats this at all. I am so lucky, and I am so blessed, and I am so thankful that you guys are all here to be a part of this. when I had Wi-Fi, I tried to update you guys a little bit with where I was, even though the video I put out about starting the ambulance came out after you already knew I was here. Yeah, Kat, I know you guys wouldn't be you if you weren't teasing me. That's awesome. Yeah. So with that, I know I have melatonin in here somewhere. I'm going to take some. I'm actually in my pajamas, so I'm halfway there. And hopefully I get a really good sleep tonight. I'm going to sleep in if I can. This morning I kept waking up and going back to sleep, saying, nope, it's too early, go back to bed. But yeah, it's crazy. It's been a great day. And I have like 100 great days ahead of me yet before I even have to go home. And then when I go home, it's the middle of March or middle of April, and it's going to be gorgeous. So I want to thank you guys all for being here. I want to thank you for the love and the support. I hope I get to meet as many of you as possible. Yes, Ashley, I'm almost at Quartzsite. Yeah, I'm just now going to take my time a little bit before I get there. As long as I'm at Quartzsite by the 14th, that's all that matters. I am incredibly proud of myself. Even if I had the easiest vehicle in the most perfect weather, that was a lot of driving day after day. And I did it. And I did it in the ambulance. And I did it in a lot of different weather conditions. But it just shows me that I'm unstoppable. And none of us know how much we can truly do until you push yourself. So thank you, Van Life Voyages. And thanks, Jimmy, for coming in. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the support. I will try to keep in touch as much as I can. Again, I'm not sure when my live streams will be out. I'm really going to try to start recording because for my birthday from my mom, check this out. Well, I won't show you, but it's like a GoPro, but it's like a different brand and it's cool. So I'm going to start. I'm going to try to remember to start recording it. So Steve, when you see me, remind me to pull out my GoPro and start recording with it. Thank you, Hybrid Life. Thank you so much. Yeah, if nothing else, my guardian angel needs a break. Yeah, because whatever or however it is, I have been blessed on this trip. I am here. Yeah. I am so thankful. Oh, thank you, Eileen. Albuquerque. Nice. Can't wait to see the new camera. I know it's like super high tech stuff. Thanks, Ringo Azar. My angel's still trying to catch up with me. Yeah, that sounds about right. I do have a lot of really good angels out there. I will tell you that. Yeah. I guess I will say my final farewells. Oh, I forget where the buttons are on here. Wait, can I play my good night? Sorry, you guys, I'm doing this all on my phone too, so that's so different to me. Oh yeah, this is my Sunshine Bound. The only trip you regret is the one you don't take. All right, good night, everyone. Much love.